Hey y'all!
Hello!
Welcome back to CattaBlah Games. So, I got a sweet-ass weapon and a sweet-ass TV. And it keeps just falling down and flopping. What the hell? Come on. Anyways, so I'm nearing the end of the game here. Like this is the final push. I think this may be the last episode. There may be one more. I think this will probably be the last one though. So, for the last episode, we decided we'd take a hot topic and talk about, like, racism and cultures.
Oh, fuck.
Anson is Eyes Johnson, and we come on down to Anson is Eyes Johnson Emporium, where we got TVs and we got toasters and we got it all. I can't really see because I got ants in my eyes. Like, come on down. I love Rick and Morty. So, anyways, back to that racism thing. It's not necessarily racism, but like talking about different cultures and how they can kind of interact with each other and slash not interact with each other. I guess you could say in certain cases. It's kind of a touchy subject, obviously. Like, I don't really want to say racism, because that's not necessarily what we're going to be talking about, per se.
I think that's the question, though, is if I have
is it racist or not?
Am I a racist?
So, see, the thing I have is, like, you go all over the world. Everybody has a different culture.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of times when I think about it, I do think about, like, more Asian cultures, like especially like Japanese culture, where it's very much an honor thing, and families are very much orientated towards family and honor. They value that very, very highly, where they can be easily offended by things that we, you know, our culture, it would be like a norm, right?
Yeah.
You know, we do things that I'm sure are very offensive to them, but at the same time to us, like, just stuff that we would do every day and not even think twice about. And I guess that's, you know, stereotypes can come from places like that, where, you know, you see another culture, you experience another culture a certain way, and now the way you experienced it can be seen as either you being racist, or, you know, you may think that they're racist against your culture. Like, I know when we say racism, a lot of people think color of your skin. And I mean, I guess I don't know the exact definition of racism. It might be like bigotry and other things that I'm talking about when it has to deal with cultures. But just for reference in the rest of the episode, when I say racism, I'm just talking about a broad spectrum of culture, sometimes skin color, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I feel that it's tough. It's tough. Like, there's so many different kinds of, like, I don't want to, like, again, I don't want to say necessarily racism, but there's a bunch of different kinds of discrimination, different beliefs that cause, you know, are okay in one thing, but in another society, it's not okay anymore. Oh God. Fuck's sakes, get out of here. Ah! I need to... God, he is being a dinkosaurus.
Oh, we got him.
Good. Because I was about dead. Oh, what the fuck was I saying?
Culture.
Yes.
You're racist.
Oh, shit.
Just
Sorry.
get in.
Don't try and tuck your way out of this. And like, yeah, there's we experience, I guess, a different kind of that in North America and like United States and Canada, as you necessarily would. And I mean, maybe I guess it might be a more extreme example of oh, great, that was cool. So, if you go to places, back here, I guess kind of, and potentially in Mexico, like, they've got specific words for it, like you're a gringo, or over in, like, in Japan, why can't I remember the word?
El Chupacabra.
Nope, that is still Mexico, and that's not that at all. Why can't I know the word. Anyways, that's what they call foreigners, anyways. And it's inherently it's kind of a racist culturist thing where it's like discriminatory, but over there they don't. I mean, I guess they must know what they're doing, seeing as they have a specific word for it. But it necessarily is probably not bad for them. Like over there, it wouldn't mean anything necessarily to them as it would over here.
I think the word is gauging.
Gauging, that's the word. Sorry, yeah. And like over there, it probably doesn't have. Well, I mean, it's still meant as a probably a kind of a derogatory.
It is
a derogatory term, but to us, that's just a word that they call us. It doesn't really mean anything to us. Like it doesn't mean anything to me. If somebody called me that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm a foreigner. I'm not Japanese or whatever. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's not harmful to me, so it doesn't bother me. Whereas, like, I feel like racism is inherently is kind of like a learned thing. But maybe not just racism, but maybe just discrimination as a whole. You don't know it's a bad thing until somebody tells you it's a bad thing. Like that's how when I say it's kind of a learned thing, that's how I feel like it is. So like if nobody ever told you, like if we just as an example, if nobody ever told you that fuck was a bad word,
you wouldn't know.
And fuck just wasn't a bad word, you would have no idea. That would just be, you may not know the word, you may know the word and it's just another word. But if nobody ever decided and told you that that was a bad word, it wouldn't be a bad word. And I feel like a lot of stuff is kind of that way. We as people have decided this is a bad thing, you can't say that. Like there's certain terms and slang for all kinds of things where if we hadn't decided that that was a bad thing, it wouldn't be a bad thing. It's actually kind of it's a really weird concept, I guess. That like it's the same thing with swear words, obviously, where we're the ones who made it a swear word. We're the ones who made it a bad thing. We just decided that's a swear word. That's a bad thing to say, and we also decide that, oh, this is something that you should be offended by. You know, why can people tell us what we should be offended by? Why can't we decide for ourselves?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, it's not a bad thing unless it comes from a bad place. Like if you say it with the intention of it being bad, then it's a bad thing. But if you could say the same thing, whatever it may be, coming from not coming from a bad intention at all, and it almost takes the reason the word or phrase still has power is because we've decided that that's hard cut, it's a bad thing. But if we decided, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, don't take it as a bad thing, and you decided not to take it as a bad thing, it's not a bad thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's such a weird concept.
Yeah.
I guess we're kind of just skipping over a lot of the plot here. We just broke into this bastard's facility here. And there's Eli, there's that cheating hoe over there.
Judith.
Yes. And this a-hole. We're about to fuck his shit up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Straight up to my office, I wouldn't have bothered hunting you in the first place.
I don't know if he says anything important, really.
Ensures I can dictate the terms of any bargain I care to make with the Combine.
Dr. Breen.
Huh.
Wallace.
Yes, Judith, what is it?
The bargain we should be making is for Eli's life so he can continue his research.
Thanks to you, we have everything we need in that regard. You're more than qualified to finish his research yourself. What neither you nor I can do is convince that rabble in the streets to give up their senseless struggle. Yet Eli refuses to speak the words that would save them all.
Save them? For what?
Eli, if you won't do the right thing for the good of all people, maybe you'll do it for one of them.
Oh no, Durag.
Dad.
It's Doodad and Durag.
Oh, it's a do reunion.
Damn you, Breen, you let it go.
That's all up to you, my old friend. Will you let your stubborn short-sightedness doom the entire species, or Will you give your child the chance her mother never had?
What a horrifying face.
You even mention her.
Alex, my dear, you have your mother's eyes, but your father's stubborn nature.
Does
Back
she?
in my
I haven't
hands.
seen a bit of it yet.
Really? Well, let's see how well it serves you on the far side of a combine portal.
Go ahead, Bree. If that's the worst you can do, send us both through your portal.
Oh, it's hardly the worst. But you might find that hard to believe once you get there.
It isn't necessary.
I agree. Total waste. Fortunately, the Resistance has shown it is willing to accept a new leader. And this one has proven to be a fine pawn for those who control him.
Lovely hair.
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
How about it, Doug Freeman? Did you realize your contract was open to the highest bidder?
Gordon would never make any kind of deal with you.
I understand if you don't wish to discuss this in front of your friends. I'll send them on their way, and then we can talk openly.
Perfect.
Don't struggle, honey.
Dad, I'm
That's
so
creepy.
sorry.
Alex.
Don't struggle, honey. Oh, Dad.
Oh, Dad. Why do you
think
always
you're
say
doing?
that?
You're doing what I could never do alone. We're stopping you.
Yes.
She has an electric fly swatter.
They know you betrayed them. They'll turn on you. Judith, Dr. Mossman, please.
I'm sorry, Wallace. You're all out of time. Don't.
Hurry! Dad, hang on.
You fool!
Watch
Uh-oh.
out, he's gonna...
No!
Whoa, there we go. He's running away. So anyways.
Dad.
Ugh. You still talking?
About me, honey.
There's no time, Alex.
Here,
You're on
take
your way to
this.
the portal. You'll
Take
need
it. See the world.
Dr.
Whoa.
Wiseman, Judith, look after my father. Don't you worry.
I won't.
Dad, I'm not saying goodbye.
She like turns around to talk to me, turns back, he's dead on the floor. It's like, what happened? I don't know. He choked on something.
My girl.
Anyways, I guess yeah, and it's
I'm not leaving you again.
like another part of it is culture,
We've known each other very long, but
and I kind of talked about it
I
before.
really didn't have to do this.
And clashing cultures is a
I
big
had to
thing
rescue
too,
My father, but you.
especially in like when you have, I guess, multicultural relationships where you have to,
Listen.
you know, all of a sudden you like things that this is totally fine, but now it's a completely different way. You know, it's like, so just in our example, if we dated a girl that could be from any kind of relationship, we're talking, oh, he's talking to some gross monster. Any kind of relationship, whether it be like an Asian or even European, like things are different over there. They're a lot more liberal than we are about things. So like they might do things that we would see as like, oh my god, like how could you do that? You know, where it's totally normal over there, and we're, you know, to them we're the ones being unreasonable.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing. So I don't know. I feel like that'd be a really hard thing to do, especially in. I know I keep going back to Asian, but I feel,
Entanglement device.
at least from what I know, they have really strong beliefs and really strong cultural beliefs.
Yeah.
That a lot of like the older generation have a really hard time
Shut it down. Looks like he's turned over
getting
his
past and not, you know, overlooking especially when it comes to like Western culture,
Yeah.
like us.
elevator, and I'll let you.
And I feel like that'd be a really hard thing to get past, because I mean, you know, you're dating anybody, you want to impress their parents. You want to put on you want them to accept you. But if they already go in not happy that their daughter, their son or whatever is dating somebody that's not within their culture, you've already got a target on your back. And it doesn't matter what you do, even the littlest thing is that much worse already. Like, that's gotta be tough.
Yeah, culture's a big thing. And the sub that asked the question, I believe he asked, is this, you know, does it make me racist if I prefer my own culture? I'll answer that for you right now. No. Absolutely not. I think it would be different if you said, I just don't like this person because of the color of their skin.
Yes.
That's a lot different. I actually live in an area that is very multicultural, and you know, when you're in a culture and you're in the heart of something, that a good portion, you know, different behavioral upbringings, different, you know, different traditions. Honestly, a lot of people in my neighborhood don't speak the same language that I do, so that can be tough as well. And so I think it's a big thing, and it's not that you don't. I don't think it has anything to do with you saying I don't like this culture. I'm not comfortable around this culture. I think it has everything to say that just in general, people, I would just rather be around people that I have similar interests with, that I know that we are, you know, we'll have more things to talk about, just kind of stuff like that. Like, you're all, like, different cultures have different interests. Some are interested in sports heavily, like Canada. We're heavily interested in hockey. Going to Europe, you know, they're heavily interested in soccer, and I hate soccer.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
And you know what? I feel like it wouldn't be, if everybody just believed like the same thing, there wouldn't even be such a thing as culture.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be culture anymore if everybody believed in the same thing and was cool with the same stuff. Like, if we all lived in the same area, no matter what race, and we all like the same stuff, all of a sudden, like, is there even culture anymore? Like, is that even a problem? Because now we're all the same anyways.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like I had this friend that was born in Canada, from India, or his parents were from India, and I struggled to hang out with him because I fucking hate curry. I find it disgusting. And so when we would hang out, and, you know, he'd have dinner made, or his parents brought him over dinner, or we go to dinner there, it was very hard because, yeah, A, I didn't have anything in common with his parents. We had nothing to talk about. Mm-hmm. And B, I couldn't eat because curry's disgusting to me. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just my taste. I can't handle it.
Well, it's funny, like, I mean, culture is really a learned thing too. Like, your culture is just what you're born with, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah. Honestly, that friendship didn't work out because we had different cultures, and he was a very nice guy, but I couldn't hang out with him anymore because we didn't have a lot to talk about, and we had such different upbringings and different values and different ideas of life, and just every single aspect of us was different.
Yeah.
The only thing we had in common was we both liked to talk.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that friendship failed because of that reason. So no, if you prefer being around people that had similar upbringings and similar world views as you, that doesn't make you a racist.
Well, I mean, what isn't that what friends are?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you hang around with people that are your friends. Like, you have similar interests. You do similar things. You like similar things. That's your friends. That's who you like hanging out with. But nobody makes a big deal out of it if you like hanging out with certain friends.
Yeah.
Time?
Oh, by the way, this is the end of the game.
Is it really that time again? It seems as if you only just arrived.
Is that fucking dude again?
You've done a great deal in a small time span. You've done so
Isn't that time
in fact,
again?
that I've received some interesting offers for your services. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate them, but these are extraordinary times. Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you. If and when your time comes round again. I do apologize for what must seem to you an arbitrary imposition, Dr. Freeman. I trust it will all make sense to you in the course of... Well, I'm really not at liberty to say. In the meantime, this is where I get off.
It makes no sense. I don't get it. Like, Gordon Freeman's some kind of special agent that they can just activate and not activate, and that he's just an asset. It's so weird.
Well, that was weird.
And that was Half-Life 2.
So, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it almost sounds like, oh, it's this time again. So has that same scenario played out a ton of times?
Well, no, like the first time he was at Black Mesa, right? Like, was that... Like, do they just... He is a government asset, and they just let him, you know, they bring him out of whatever kind of sleep he's in, and then they put him into a situation that they need solved, and he just does it? Like, he almost seems like a fucking, like a Jason Bourne.
Why the fuck would they end it like that?
To keep
Now, there's nothing to be interested for.
you interested. Isn't there?
Half-Life 3 is never coming.
Well, that's what they want you to think.
If they ever released it, like, it would be pandemonium on the internet.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's been wanting it for many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That was Half-Life 2.
cool.
Love that game.
Shout out to Alfred Reynolds.
And don't forget about... and nobody has any interesting names in there.
Matty Wood.
Don't forget it, but just forget them all. Forget all of them. But don't forget Merle Dandridge. Or Merle. Probably Merle. What a bunch of lame names.
Terry Fiddle-a-Man.
I bet he did. Fiddle a man.
Pat Cockburn.
Oh, that hurt. So yeah, I don't know if do you have any final words about the whole culture racism thing?
People just need to stop being so sensitive.
I feel like a lot of issues come down to that. Somebody just decides this is going to be so offensive to me that I have to go and make a big deal to everybody, and it's like they're not satisfied unless you are also offended by what they're offended by.
Yeah.
It's like one person or a small group of people going on some big tirade saying that you have to be offended by this because we or I am offended by this.
Yeah.
And there's so many issues that come down to just that. It's like, I'm offended by it, you have to be offended by it now too. And if you're not, well, fuck you. And some of them have that attitude too.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to prove your point when your attitude is either you agree with me or you're wrong?
Yeah.
Like, it's infuriating. It really is.
Lamar! Blast that little... Where did she get to?
Fucking Lamar. Yeah, well, that's the end of Half-Life 2. I hope you enjoyed the journey. And the millions of topics we've gone through whilst on this journey.
That was a long series.
It was. I don't know what I'm going to do next, so you can be excited to find out what the new series will be. So I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.